I appreciate the support. For more unedited content, follow me on Patreon, Drew Titan, LLC.
The Painful Excellence Podcast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get it together, y'all. Drew Titan, Bronze on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast. Let's talk a little politics and BS. If y'all are wondering, what I'm doing with my intro, let me just say this. I listened to the audience. I was told my intro was too long, right? And they said I'd get more views if the intro was long. I love my intro. So what I did was I shortened it up. That's the short version so we can get to the business. And now that intro is reserved for my Patreon. It's reserved for the Patreon. And plus, although I own rights to the music, every time I upload the intro on my live stream, YouTube hits me with a escrow, and they're saying we have to make sure that the rights that you claim is official. And basically what they're saying is they hold my bread for about 30 days just for them to release it after I have a content ID and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna play with y'all. Y'all play too much. So this is why I'm at war with them. It's war. It's war. And I'm also finding that I'm not the only content creator that goes through this garbage with them. What you don't know is the amount of content creators that have sued YouTube successfully. But you don't hear about it. The brother Willie D sued YouTube and was successful. Just do your own research. But in the meantime, what I'm doing is I'm disarming them. 100% of my content is official. It's real. Everything. We don't know what reused content is because they don't know. I've asked. I'm like, this is reused content. Oh yeah, well, read this. Yeah, I've read it. Do you know what you're reading? So what I've done is I've been more responsible with my content. I've toned down the profane language. That still doesn't help. Miguel is still out here picking and choosing. But documentation beats conversation. I tell my audience that all the time. I tell y'all that all the time. And sometimes you don't have to lift a finger. Because what these people do is they tell on themselves chronically. And that's cool. So, and mind you, the person that said that about my intro, they haven't been back since. That's amazing, right? Amazing. So, that's another reason why I dual stream on both channels. I do that for a purpose also. So salute. Thank you guys. Like the video, share the video. This isn't a boxing conversation. This has something to do with our country. Subscribe to my Patreon. Subscribe to if you're on Drew Titan LLC, subscribe to the Painful Excellence Podcast. And tonight's topic is birth tourism scheme. Because it's a scheme. Monster Musa, salute. Drake Lemonade, World Constricted, Showtime Majors, Derek Gaines, the legend. The beautiful love is the word. Salute to y'all. Smash a like button, share the video. We are our own algorithm. We don't need you to send out notifications. It's become apparent that they do what they want to do. Right. So birth tourism, do y'all know what that is? This is something I've heard about, never investigated until fairly recently. And now that Trump is back in office, and it's just amazing. There's things that he's exercising that he said he was going to do. And I said, man, when he was in the White House the first time, he was called racist for exercising this thing. And not so much. Tarisha, what's going on? How are you? And what I like to do here is I think it's more important to ask, how do you feel about it? Because I'm just going to state what I know by way of what we find online from articles, and based off the current atmosphere of this country. How does the political atmosphere affect you as an American? And I think for the next 4 years, this is going to be a hot thing to deal with. It's going to be a hot thing to deal with, man. How does it affect you? Everything from birth tourism to, the migrants who are here illegally. If you're pro-migrant, I'm just curious as to why. A lot of people don't understand the history of, the amendments. So, Trump referred to the 14th Amendment. And a lot of people didn't know that. What happens is people have a bully mentality. Think back when you was a kid. That new kid in the class, it takes one person to say something crazy about them. The next thing you know, the whole class is jumping on the bandwagon of hate. It's called bullying. It's a bully mentality. Like right now, Latinos feel that they're being bullied. And their anger is misguided. I don't know how they're blaming black people for what? Not standing in the pocket for them? I don't know where that came from, because I found several videos of white people going hard at them. And those white folks are not getting any, and not half, but any of the backlash that black people are getting. Are they black people talking about, oh, they're getting deported, I don't care? There they are. There's just the same amount of white people, but the white people is coming from a place of racism. I've seen some repugnant stuff, calling them out their name. Then you see white people saying, oh man, they're deporting the help. Now I got to actually go pay a business to come mow the lawn where I could just get some guys and pay them $5. It's like, whoa. Ignore that. Ignore that and go straight to black people. An FBA. You know FBA, that Fat Joe called he said, what do you call them? Broke ass FBA. Talking about Tariq Nasheed. Why was he mad? Because he said, well, black people created hip hop. And he gave a detailed historical review of its beginnings. And Fat Joe's mad that Boricuas was left out. I'm like, bro, you added to it, but you didn't create it. You didn't. So what the hell are you mad at? We're not saying you're not good at it. But you didn't create it. What do you mean you helped create? No, you didn't. And if you let people come up into our culture, and this is all relevant to today, to today's topic, if you ignore that stuff, 704 Joe, salute. If you ignore that stuff, you lose who you are. Pinball player, salute. You can't ignore stuff like that. Let me relate it to something else. In Texas, they had some history books, and thank God there were some parents that were on par. When they referred to slavery, they don't call it slavery. Magically, America don't want to talk about that no more. Y'all remember that? They said Africans came to America. They migrated to America for a better way of life. And I'm like, that's not the history of this country. And then you get some black people saying, oh, well, Columbus wasn't the first people here. Look, I know all of that. We're talking about what they tried to put in that book. They tried to tell these black kids that slavery didn't happen. Let's not talk about it. It was evil. It happened, but let's not talk about it. No. You can't erase history. It happened. You did it. Why you don't want to talk about it? How could you say you're proud to be an American, but you don't want to acknowledge you did that? Because foundational black Americans, man, we got so mixed up. We have to do DNA tests to find out what part of Africa we came from. But immigrants, migrants and stuff, they can tell you, oh, I come from Peru. I'm from Nicaragua. I'm from Mexico. Your bloodline's not diluted like us. That's why you got light-skinned black people, brown skin, dark skin. You don't know. We're all mixed up. Melanin, what up? So what you mean you don't want to talk about it? Everyone here, a majority of people from here from somewhere else, even white folk that are here, they weren't here first, but their roots go back to Ireland, the UK, like parts of the UK, Norway. They can do that easy. Good old Chappie in North Dakota with pale skin and green eyes and red hair, he has roots in Ireland. Daryl Alexander, salute. So where are you from? You know what I'm saying? Where are you from? I don't know. But you know what? We here now, and what you mean, we how'd you get here? We know how the white folk got here. We know what happened with the red folk that were here first. And now you don't want to talk about it? So when black folk were brought here as slaves, we literally, when slavery was abolished and they invented when we added to the amendments, the 14th Amendment, we fought for that. It applied to us. Us, black people. The problem is there's a lot of things we fought for on top of the 14th Amendment. Civil rights movement. Look, I can go on and on and on. There's a bunch of things black people fought for. The problem is when others came in here and tagged on to the stuff that we fought for, and they jumped on that, they take advantage of what we fought for, right? And here's the ill play. They take advantage of things that we fought for. From the 1800s, the 1900s, all the way to the 2000s, shit that we fought for. And guess what they do? They take advantage of things that we fought for and invented and everything else. And then, while they got the full swing of everything, they turn around and call us lazy. We helped build and shape this country. And a lot of us couldn't even get business loans. They allowed the foreigners to come in here, and the ones that come in here the right way, they're getting business loans. Why do you think there's a Chinese restaurant and a Kennedy Fried Chicken restaurant in every hood USA. In New York, right here in the Bronx, there's a Kennedy Fried Chicken in every hood. There's a liquor store in every hood. Now, the latest flex is the smoke shops. Since marijuana is illegal, there's smoke shops everywhere in your hood, USA. Mark Wonderlit, salute. And it's like, who owns those shops? How many black people own those shops? Go ahead and tell me. I'm talking about black Americans. I'm not talking about the Jamaicans. Khalid, what up? I'm not talking about Jamaicans. I'm not talking about Jamaicans that come up in here and they have Jamaican neighborhoods or whatever. That's beautiful. I'm not talking about Dominicans that come up here and set up shop. That's beautiful. Now I'm talking about the immigrants that came here the correct way. That's beautiful. That's the American dream. I ain't got no problem with that. But when they come here and they have access to things that we fought for, and then they turn around and say black Americans are lazy. It's like, no, you have access to a loan and I couldn't get it. My credit is good. You came here with no credit. But they're giving you access to the American dream. And you're just calling me lazy. I tried to do what you do. I tried to open up a mom and pop store. I'm trying to cut through all this red tape, and then a year later, boom, you're selling, patties, cocoa bread, peas and rice, and oxtails. And I was looking at that site, and I couldn't get it, and you came in the country 2 years ago, and you up and running. But you're gonna call me lazy. Joseph, what up? Things like this are really happening. Because that's what happens. Oh, I know, Derek Gaines, I know. But they want to call us lazy. Meanwhile, we built the country that they're coming in here taking advantage of. Advantage. And what Donald Trump did is he said, no, you don't. No, you don't. No. That's what he said. He said, no. No. Now, there's a correct way of doing things. I just said that. There's a correct way of doing things. There's a process. I don't have a problem with people that came here legally, went through the process, opened up a business. I don't have a problem with that. But when you hop the fence and you come through another country to get here, and then, you're just running around here and then you're here illegally and you're still talking crazy to foundational black Americans, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. How dare you? You ain't gonna call me lazy. You ain't gonna call me lazy. You're not. F you with a lit flare. Shaquilla Field, salute, Queen. You ain't gonna call me lazy. I put in work. Both sides of my family. I know who got off the boat. Auntie Jenny, good evening. Who got off the boat? Both sides of my family and where they went. Stop it. This country's so bad, right? But people hopping the fence to get here. You know what it is? We so loose with how we handle things over here. Because whatever they were trying to do where they're from, they can't do there. But let's go to America. And one thing that a lot of these dudes have in common that get here, they look down on us, FBAs. This ain't the first time that cats that wasn't supposed to be here were here rallying. It happened a few years ago. And I'll never forget when they showed all of those, and I am talking about the Latinos at this point. Auntie Jenny says UK has the same issues. I heard. I remember they were rallying somewhere, this a few years ago, and I'm looking at all those flags, and I'm just watching this thing, and They moved the camera. I saw the Puerto Rican flag there, and it wasn't the Cuban flag because they're very similar. The colors are just reversed on the Cuban flag, and that was not the Cuban flag. It was the Puerto Rican flag. I looked right at it. I said, what is that? They're American. Let me mind my business, right? I was like, what is that, man? Come on, what are they doing? Yeah. That legitimately had nothing to do. That legitimately had nothing to do with them. It really didn't. And that's okay. It didn't have anything to do with them. But this country's so bad that Americans is lazy and black Americans is lazy. Meanwhile, you hop in the fence to get here and take advantage of the loopholes in our laws for you to start a business in our neighborhoods and then call us lazy. I told y'all the story about the Korean store owner that been in my neighborhood for years, and then it was just normalized for her to treat us crazy. And decades later, I'm there with my kids, and I'm just out of my mind, just going there, like, let me just grab some snacks for the kids. And then I look in the mirror, and now this woman is, she's like 30 years older. Now she got the hunchback, and she's just still following me through the store. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same woman. Now she's all hunchback and gray. Noah, what up? She's all hunchback and she's gray and walking all slow now, but she's still following me through the store. Here I am, grown with kids of my own. Oh, Khalid, I know about that. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait. I told the shorties, put it back. We're gonna go somewhere else. And I said, what the fuck? Man, and I went and I told her grandson, who's also grown now, he was there. I was like, yo, what's up, man? Biker, salute. I said, what's up with grandma, man? What the fuck? I'm like, yo, bro, she did this in 85? And here it is, 2000, what year was that? It was like 2016. I said, bro, she need to give it a rest. Whole time, I never stole anything out of here. But my white friends that used to live around here, yeah, they got y'all for whole cartons of Tropicana, packs of bologna. We were just buying bubble gum and lollipops and lemon heads. They were stealing meals. I said, man, F your grandma, bro. They since sold the store now, and now some Arabs own it. Any convenience store in your neighborhood. Not around here, I don't know a black-owned one. If they own it, they're not American. They're not American. So we don't have the same access, and they come here and they come here and get it popping, and then, Anwar, what up? And then they call us lazy. And that's furthest from the case. We've been working, we were brought here and we worked under duress. We've been working for free for years. What you mean? And then when we were free, they tried to wipe us out. The crack epidemic, guns. They did a number on Chicago. Systematic racism. And then today, they opened up the borders. And then they took the migrants and put them in our neighborhoods. Closed down schools where our kids went to school at. In school, where they tried to tell us slavery didn't happen and, let's stop talking about it. They closed down that schools and put in, Miguel and his family. Felix, what up? And let me say this. Please don't act like they only like deporting Latinos. Right here in my city, there's a bunch of Ukrainians that they got a hold of and they kicked their ass out too. There's Asians that they kicked out. Middle Eastern dudes that they kicked, and like whole families. They had to go. They had to go. Please don't act like they just picking on Latinos. Don't do that. It's not, no. Abdullah, what up? And I hear you, Abdullah, for real, man, because they come here and they looking at us. Now, again, and this is all part of the topic that I'm talking about. We make up 13% of the population of the United States. The same amount of black people that voted last term is the same amount of people that voted this term. They tried to blame black men for why Kamala didn't get into the White House. That fell short. Gnarly Ray, salute. That fell crazy short. That fell crazy short. We didn't do it. In fact, if you look at the statistics, a majority of black people still voted Democrat. Still did. Still did. They still did. But what did we find? Latinos outnumber us in this country, and 61% of them voted for Trump.
What?
You heard me. Teresa Ford says you believe that there's more 13%. Well, I'm just going off of what I've read. So if we're 13% and Latinos outnumber us, what I'm saying is we weren't the reason why Kamala didn't get into the White House. What I am saying is, Jeff Sparks, salute. What I am saying is, now we've learned that they're the reason why that man's in the White House. Not black people. They've lumped black people with the term minorities. That's them latching on to the things that we fought for. You see what I'm saying? They latched on to the stuff we voted for. They take advantage and then look at us and say we're lazy. Minority vote, what is that? You mean black people? Or do you mean black people, brown people, Asians, Jewish, right? Watch this. LGBTQHYZ. Now they all lumped in with us. No. My grandfather, great-grandfather, they didn't march and get shit thrown at them for them. It was for us. They're trying to latch on to us. Oh, yeah, we latching on with y'all. Yeah, we're going to march with y'all. And as soon as y'all generate compliance, y'all turn around and stab us in the chest. That's what y'all do. Everybody got something that they need. Oh, I need rights because, you see, did you see these soy boys working at Starbucks crying because there was some dudes in there, some biker looking dudes, and he was all intimidated because he was a soy boy. And I'm like, what are you crying for? Mr. Tiptoe, salute. He felt intimidated by some customers. He's crying online. That's why you want a third bathroom? I mean, I'm serious. I'm like, what is going on? What? I don't understand what this video is. But I know he was a soy boy. Khalid, you saw that? I'm like, I'm not understanding what there was some big burly dudes in the Starbucks and he was scared to use the restroom. What? Tay, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. How are you? I don't understand what his problem was. Call a wambulance. Stop whining. Get out of here. It's ridiculous. So everybody want to tack on they want to attach themselves to what we fought for, take advantage of it, and then turn their backs on us. And then when we legitimately don't do anything, and this guy gets into office and starts doing what he said he was going to do, you get all these clowns pointing at black people and ignoring all the white people that are actually being racist out loud about it. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. We didn't do anything to you. You attached yourself to ours. All the laws that are in place, all of these bills. We did that. That's like taking them off the street when they're homeless, feeding them, and then you go to the work one day, you come back, the door locks has changed. Well, you didn't clean the toilet anyway. Oh yeah, I make my own money. I've been here long enough, so I'm on a lease. I could change the locks. I ain't like how you ain't make your bed in the morning. Don't worry. We're going to put you out. We take better care of this apartment anyway. That's exactly what this is. No, get out. What you mean? We lazy. Your ass lazy. We built this bitch. She got to understand, when Fat Joe said these broke FBAs, why didn't you just say Tariq Nasheed's name? And that's the part that pissed me off, because when I first saw the clip, I said, what is he mad at? He said FBAs. That wasn't a shot at Tariq Nasheed personally. That was a shot at everything that we represent. I'm like, whoa, wow. Ask Fat Joe how would he feel if 30 years from now, the darkest dude you know out the Bronx say, yeah, man, I was in the studio and I worked with a lot of reggae artists, and my brother Pablo was there, and he started rhyming in Spanish, and I threw a reggae beat on it, and we really put out the first reggaeton track. Everyone else just copied us. What happens if you have the blackest dude in the Bronx that says that 30 years from now? Fat Joe will be the loudest one, if he's around, will be the loudest one. Nah, he lying. Reggaeton is something that we created in Puerto Rico. And he'll have a whole history of how it became about. And we'll call that brother a liar. You know what I'll say? I don't know. I wasn't there. But we have documentation of the beginnings of hip hop. 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. It's a landmark here in the Bronx. Isaiah, what up? If you don't check their nonsense out the door, it'll become normalized. It went from black rights to minority rights. No. This was our stuff. Get your own. That's all these cats do. They come in and latch on the shit that we fought for and call us lazy. It's been proven we don't have access to the same things that these guys have access to when they come here. It's been proven that they put us all in like rats in a cage and throw guns and drugs in our neighborhoods. It's easy to say, oh, well, just don't sell the drugs. That's easy to say. But it takes one fool to say, all right, well, I'm just going to sell a little bit of drugs. Don't act like everyone in your neighborhood are on one accord. Don't act like that. You can have a bunch of people that love your neighborhood, but 2 or 3 assholes that don't curb their dog, they're littering, and they have no common sense or no coof about them. Don't act like that. And those are the clowns that amplify things. You ruin a whole neighborhood. One bad apple can ruin the bunch. It did a number on us, man. But with all this information available today, to be ignorant is a choice. I say it on Pep Talk. I'm more live about it on my Patreon, and I say it on my boxing channel. All that information available. There's no excuse for you to be an idiot. Not a Democrat or a Republican, and I told y'all, look, I didn't vote for Trump. But I understand exactly how he got into the White House. I kept telling y'all that. No vote, no vucking. Twerking for Kamala. I washed my collard greens in the bathtub. I was like, man, I see where this is going. I see where this is going. I know it's about to happen. And it happened. It happened. Told you. Told you. Ask how many of the minorities, right, stand with us when it comes to reparations. Go ahead and ask them. I remember they were having a reparations, I think Cali Enigma, salute to my brother Cali. He sent me a link. Was it Cali that sent me a link? Somebody sent me a link where they got into an argument because they were having a real conversation about reparations in California somewhere. And from what I recall, because in all fairness, I don't recall the exact debate. I don't even know why it was a debate, but what I learned was, and this is gonna play right into what I'm saying as far as the title of the show. Yeah, exactly, Teresa. I don't know where they got that. I've never seen in my family from the deep South. They've never washed no damn collard greens in a damn bathtub. I've never seen that in my life. Never heard of it. But whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this woman was at this gathering and she had got into it with people on the panel, right? It was like a town hall meeting. And somebody said something crazy to her daughter. I'm like, well, what's going on with her daughter? Her daughter was like a 14-year-old kid and she read something and basically the adults told her, all right, okay, you should go sit down because this has nothing to do with you and what you're reading has nothing to do. It was some crazy stuff. And she got in her feelings that she was like, yo, you grown people talking to a child. I'm like, well, this child is at an adult meeting and whatever she had to say it didn't have anything to do with what they were dealing with there. You know what I mean? And she got mad and it got so off topic. And you know what I found? When she got mad, guess what came out? She's what I call a chameleon. I have a lot of friends that I jokingly call chameleons. Y'all know what a chameleon is? Salute my brother Main Bike in that super chat. He said, black stores were called bootleg spot. Messed up. Yeah, yeah, definitely. The bootleg spot. Don't even exist no more. But she was a chameleon. Because you know what happened when she got mad? She started talking patois. The Ross clot, bumba clot. I said, ooh. Aaron, what up? I was like, there it is. Now, how can I trust that black person, a woman in this in this situation, to be for FBAs getting reparations? How can I trust her to be a part of that cause? You know why? You think she's going to get cut a check? No, because she's not from here. Even if she's born here, she got to be second generation. Maybe her parents are from the old country. Because I went to school with a bunch of friends. One of my buddies, I didn't even know he was Jamaican. Well, he's American because he was born in Brooklyn somewhere. And then the family came to the Bronx. And when I went to his crib the first time, his parents, they, you know, for lack of better words, they're too far gone. They can't get rid of their accents. But he grew up around a bunch of Americans, but he's in a house where he speaks that language. And every summer, he went to Jamaica for a month. So he was immersed into that. This is the dude that came back when we was in high school. He was the dude coming back. Now, mind you, this is the early 90s. He was coming back, talking about how he was sleeping with all these white women, going down to the river. And we didn't believe him. There was no social media back then. We said, man, he said, yeah, man, I was smashing these chicks she was from Scotland. And then I was like, what? Then he got to be making it up. And what did we find out years later? Nope. Those women been going down and getting their backs ripped out for years. And we was like 15, 16 when he was telling us that story. Every summer he came back. He'd leave like after school, and he'd come back like in August. Like it'd be over in June. He'd go down there for all July and come back the first week of August. Yep. So he was a chameleon, like a lot of my buddies were. They were from, their parents was from the old land, but they were born and raised here. So they could talk like me, walk like me. They were immersed into my culture. But when they got around each other, it was, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know you was Jamaican. Didn't even know. Now him, although he looks black American, he wouldn't be entitled to reparations. His parents are from Kingston. I did my whole lineage to where the boat landed. So it's a conversation to have. They're not just going to cut every black person here a check. There's going to have to be some research. You're here. Who's your father? Who's your grandfather? Who's your great-great-grandfather? Who's your great-great-great-grandfather? And they have to go all the way back to who got off the boat. Both sides of my family, I know who got off the boat and who was in the cotton fields, literally in the cotton fields. So when the 14th Amendment applied to them, and then we went to Mississippi, South Carolina, Illinois, New York. There it is. Not everybody's going to get that. They're going to have to do some background checks, some research. So that woman, once that accent came out, I'm like, no wonder, because I think she was opposing reparations. Man, the Jewish community got reparations. Did they not? Didn't Japanese people that they put in camps in American soil during the war, didn't they get reparations? Akil, what up? Black people, FBA should be the first people getting reparations. And I'll tell you what else. Yeah, I should, Abdul. I should. Not only should we be the first to get reparations, but the check you cut is going to be rehashed back into the country anyway. Most black people talk about, I'm going to lead the country, lead the country, lead the country. Some will, most won't. Most won't. Most won't. That's all right, main biker. It's okay. Yeah, Dritch. Yeah. So I can't trust no chameleon to argue on my behalf. So that was my original question. All these people that latched on to these laws for black people that magically became for all minorities, ask them, from the LGBTQ to the Asians to the Latinos, ask them, man, how you feel about black FBAs getting cut a check for reparations, and just see what they say. In my opinion, off the bat, that shouldn't bother them. Hey, man, cut them a check. FBAs, they help shape this country. Cut them the check. Why wouldn't you want to cut them the check? I know if my people were brought here under duress, I'd want a check. Cut them a check. Just see what they say. When you got guys like Fat Joe referring to us as these broke FBAs, instead of saying, yo, man, that dude Tariq, he don't know what he's talking about. You could have kept it on him. But because Tariq represents a whole thing, he attacked him. Young Hollywood, salute. He attacked what he represents. And I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. You ask anybody that tagged on to anything that represented a movement started by black people. Because I'm telling y'all, everything that was in reference to fighting for the rights of minorities, it started out as a black movement. They attached their stuff onto ours. And it went from black to minorities, which includes brown people, Asian people, Jewish people, and LGBTQXYZ. And now you're looking around like, okay, for a minute, you're like, okay, we appreciate the support. But then when they start really taking advantage of it, then they turn around and turn their back on us. That's the rhythm, man. No doubt, Mr. Tiptoe, I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you. Now, the scheme of birth tourism. This is one of the things that Trump is talking about. And apparently this is an Asian thing. Apparently. And what I'm pointing out is I see people getting away with stuff that I don't know if Africans are doing this. This is something that I've seen. There's a whole special on it. Let me read what I have. American documentary. POV goes behind the closed doors of the Chinese birth tourism industry. It's an industry, y'all. In the U.S., in director Leslie Tye's How to Have an American Baby. This is a whole thing, y'all. Overview. Brooklyn, New York, October 12, 2023. Multi-Emmy Award and Peabody Award winning series POV explores the unsettling commercialization of birth and citizenship and its human cost in the brave and announced. Why is the word so small on this page? I'm old now. Announced documentary, How to Have an American Baby. Directed by Leslie Tye. My American Surrogate, The Private Life of Fin Fin. And produced by Jillian Schultz. The film is a kaleidoscopic voyage. Forgive my reading, y'all. The words are very small on this page, and I'm almost 50 years old. It's a voyage into the shadow economy, catering to Chinese tourists who travel to the U.S. to give birth in order to have babies who will be born as American citizens. Now, let me stop right there for a moment. What was Trump talking about? There you go. Cameron Fields, my queen. Salute, sis. How are you? Good to see you. Appreciate you showing up. Now, did y'all just hear that? Oh, yeah, Royal Constrictor. Thank you for pointing that out. White women are considered a minority. Did y'all know that? Did affirmative action help white women? Yes or no? I'm just asking. I mean, this is some great stuff, man. Some great stuff when you know it. Okay. Now, what was Trump talking about? Didn't he say that he's going to stop that? With unprecedented access, the documentary Ties directional feature debut definitely recounts all sides of this often sensationalized issue, because they refer to it as an issue, while capturing the fortunes and tragedies of the people caught in a global economic system that exploits and capitalizes on their desire for an American passport. Why the need to be here? Yours truly, salute. Oh, you didn't know, Miss Ford? You didn't know? White women are considered a minority. You didn't know that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So all of those rights that we fought for, it was for Black empowerment, and we actually had bricks thrown on our head, lynched, shot, stabbed, chased with guns. Once it went into law, they had latched on to it. We did all the dirty work. Town hall meetings, crosses burned on our lawns. All of this stuff that we fought for, right? I mean, really think about this. All this stuff that we fought for, we were brought here under duress, raped, abused, hung, shot, stabbed. We fought in every war. Civil War, World War, Vietnam, Korean, Middle East. We fought in every war. But dial it back. 14th Amendment, we fought for all of that. And after all the dust settled, here comes somebody else. Hey man, that's good you fought for that. Well, I'm a minority. What makes you a minority? I'm a white woman. I can't vote. Okay, I guess you could roll with us. Hey man, I fit under everything you fought for. I fit under that. Why? Because I'm LGBTQ XYZ LMNOP. Okay, I guess. Hey man, that's good what you're doing. I fall under that. Why? Well, I'm not white. I'm Latino. Okay, I guess. Well, I fall under that because I'm white, but I'm Jewish. You see the yarmulke? Okay. I mean, I know that's bad. You know, the Holocaust and everything. Night train salute. I mean, Adolf Hitler, King Leopold, same thing, but okay, I guess. And now you have an assembly line. Now you think you got a lot of strength in numbers, right? And once everybody gets what they need from that, you turn around and say, hey man, I'm still protesting here. I still need some things here. You're lazy. We got what we needed. You're lazy though. Because we got some stuff done, but I have a store over here and we got a whole neighborhood over here. What did you do? Yes, man, salute. What did you do? How come you didn't do what we did? Wait a minute, man. You just latched on to what we did here, and now you got what you need, man. You can't just stick around and help us. Sorry. And today you got a Mexican dude running around TikTok mad at a few black people that are saying, man, deport their ass. I don't care. We really, dude? You ain't seen none of those white folks talking crazy about you. You went right to these black dudes and women. And you're mad? Yeah. Like I said, the next person y'all here talking crazy about our reaction, which is really no reaction. Our reaction is an American reaction. It's an American reaction. Look, man, y'all voted for 61% of the Latinos voted for this guy to get into office. The same amount of black people that voted Democrat for Biden is the same amount of people that voted for Democrat for Kamala Harris. And guess what? A lot of them were black men. The same amount of black men that voted for Biden was the same amount of black men that voted for Kamala. So it's not us. Who was it? It was white folk. And it was 61% of the Latinos. Remember Latinos for Trump? Remember the Proud Boys? That dude is not white. He's Latino. Y'all did this. What the fuck are y'all mad at us for? You see what I mean? But what about this birth tourism? It's a scheme. What, you gonna blame black people for this too? Because this ain't right. This ain't right. How to Have an American Baby makes its national broadcast premiere on POV Monday, December 11th, 2023. Yeah, you can find this. Let me go to this other thing. How to Have an American Baby. Okay. Women did this. Lisa Tai, Jillian Saltz, Olivia Shaw, Leela Lynn, and Yang Kong. It's a cool name, Yang Kong. I'm gonna sit down and watch this when I get a minute. Chinese woman confesses to running birth tourism scheme in U.S. Thousands of pregnant women from various countries enter the United States every year on valid visas to give birth to children who automatically gain U.S. citizenship. I wonder why they're doing that. The Chinese national pleaded guilty on Tuesday to federal charges of running a birth tourism scheme in California that catered to wealthy Chinese clients, including government officials who paid large sums of money so their children would be U.S. citizens. Y'all hear this? Dongguang Li, 41, admitted in her plea agreement that between 2013 and March of 2015, her company called You Win USA Vacation Services, oh my God, that's funny as hell, assisted mainly Chinese foreign nationals who were pregnant to travel to the United States and give birth. You hear this? Thousands of pregnant women from various countries enter the United States every year on valid visas to give birth to children who automatically gain U.S. citizenship. You see that? The company website advertised that it had catered to more than 500 Chinese birth tourism customers who, according to officials, were housed in 20 apartments in urban south of Los Angeles. These are the kids that are going to grow up catered to because they come from money. They're going to own businesses or, being, what do they call that? Silicon Valley or whatever they're going on in California, and look down on you and you're an FBA. But to them, you're nothing but an SOB. FBA, what's that? You a SOB. They're gonna look at you and be like, you bastard. And your response is gonna be like, that's because my mama's a whore. Y'all get it? Well, these kids are being bred to win. They're being brought here to win. Meanwhile, we can't get a damn loan to start a business. You know, if you're a small business owner, you're supposed to have access to certain grants. But meanwhile, these companies are running schemes to get non-Americans in here to take up every job in every form of free enterprise. Do y'all understand that this country actually is supposed to be running off of free enterprise? This country should be benefiting off of business owners. That's why, you know, you can have a six-figure paying job, but it's better if you own your own. It's better. Night Train stupid. He said that's how we got Bruce Lee. That's funny. It's true though. You see what I mean? They were running a racket, y'all. So while this is happening, you're doing all the right things. You're not out here selling drugs. You're not getting locked up. You're trying to start a business, and it's difficult. But meanwhile, these cats can come here and take advantage of all of these grants and loans, and next thing you know, they're business owners and you working 9 to 5. You might be working for them. Free enterprise is a rated. This is how the country runs. It's ran on free enterprise. The business owner to be a business owner is the way to go. But you know, that's a whole nother show. But what you're learning, what you're hearing about this is that this was a scheme. They're not just coming here just to enjoy the weather. They were coming here to do something. Because whatever they can get done here, they couldn't get done the way they wanted to get it done in their own country. Authorities say Lee charged between $40,000 and $80,000 for her services, and over 2 years, she amassed $3 million in wire transfers from China. Do you hear this? According to the series of indictments filed earlier this year against Lee and 19 other defendants in relation to the birth tourism scheme, customers were coached on how to bypass, listen to this, how to bypass U.S. immigration control and conceal their pregnancies. You see that? Lee admitted that her customers were advised to book 2 flights, the first from China to Hawaii, where the women were told to list the Trump International Hotel in Honolulu as their destination. You hear this? They were told to take a flight to Los Angeles as part of their plea deal. I'm sorry, they were told to take a flight to Los Angeles. As part of their plea deal, Lee agreed to forfeit more than $850,000, a residence worth more than $500,000, and several Mercedes-Benz vehicles. This woman was eaten. She was eaten live. She faces up to 15 years in prison, and her sentencing on December 16th. This is an old article. I need to follow up on this. Thousands of pregnant women from various countries enter the United States every year on valid visas to give birth to children who automatically become citizens, who gain U.S. citizenship. Now, is this right? It's illegal. This is why you're getting booted out the damn country. And facing 15 years. This is a racket, y'all. Elizabeth Hang on the Twitter says, it's estimated that 36,000 Chinese tourists come through the U.S. each year for birth tourism. 36,000, y'all. Just for them to go to their stores and for them to talk crazy about you. That's been my experience. Not with everybody, but that's been my experience. Have a baby and the child leaves with the U.S. passport. It's a multi-million-dollar industry. This isn't fair to everyone who goes through the legal immigration process. You see what I mean? See? The practice is legal as long as the mother does not lie on the visa application and can pay for medical care. The Trump administration has lashed out at the practice and floated the idea of revoking birthright citizenship. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Yeah, Abdullah, I'll talk to Stormy about that. Now, this country's so messed up, but meanwhile, everyone's trying to get here and do that. What are they trying to do? What are they up to? What are they up to? What's the plan? What are they trying to do? Tell me, because I don't know. This is it's very interesting. And I'm gonna tell you what though. I ain't mad at that orange man in the White House. He said this was a problem. If y'all cool with this, I don't know what to tell you. But the only people mad are the people he's putting on blast. He ain't putting me on blast. From my mama's side and my daddy's side, we FBAs. Woke, what up? We are FBAs. And I say that proudly. My family helped shape this country. While these cats are million dollar schemes to make babies here. The cheat code. We didn't do that. But then they call us lazy. Why don't you want to go through the process? That's lazy. Go through the process. We're not the problem. You know what's happening now? You know what's getting put on blast? How we're treated. That's what's getting put on blast. How we're treated. I voted for Dr. Cornel West because I wanted to have the conversation about Andrew 100, salute. I want to have the conversation about reparations. That's what I wanted. Kamala Harris didn't want to have that conversation. Joe Biden didn't want to have that conversation. And all these people that latched on to the laws and the amendments and everything else that we fought for, got killed over, they don't want to have that conversation. The next time a non-black person talks to you about what this guy in office is doing wrong, just ask them, how do you feel about black people, foundational black Americans, getting reparations? How do y'all feel about that? And just watch their face. Because what they're supposed to say, yo, no, I'm for that. Y'all deserve that. If they go to, I don't know. Okay. Get that person away from you. My brother Smoke and Talk Podcast LLC in the building. He said, what's up, y'all? Baltimore in the building. Shout out to Drew Titan. Shout out to the moderators in the chat. Bro, I want to get with you to do something this Friday. And I want to get at Harmonize too. I want to do a panel. I might reserve Fridays for panels, open panels, so we could discuss what's going on. Exactly, Ness, man. We paid our dues. We paid our dues, man. Listen, man. Civil rights movement. Y'all seen it. When we was getting sprayed down with hose, we was marching for hours. Where were the Latinos when that was happening? I know they were here. They were here. But every time black people march for something, it's our problem. How many Latins did you see marching for Michael Brown? You know what I did see? I saw a lot of Latinos, a lot of Ramirez and Rodriguez, Perez. So a lot of that talking about, well, he shouldn't have reached for the gun. I'm like, how do you know he reached for the gun? That's what that cracker said. Oh, well, he did strong arm rob that store. He did. Y'all know what strong arm robbery is? Watch this, y'all. Y'all know what that is? You know what strong arm robbery is? You know what strong arm robbery is? What is strong? You hear robbery, you think the worst. But what is strong arm robbery? You know what it is? Do y'all know what strong arm robbery is? Thank you, main biker. When they debo your ass. Debo meaning they just take it. You see someone, you walk up on them, you just take it. No gun, no knife, nothing. You just give me that. Run that. That's what we call it out here. Run that. How did he rob me? He robbed you what? Well, what did he use? His hands. So it's strong arm. Run that. That's what Mike Brown did. He went into a store and strong arm robbed it. He took something out of there and the store owner couldn't stop him. He did that, yes. So when he mixed it up with the cop, or the cop mixed it up with him, of course the cop said he reached for my gun. I've seen several videos. There was a brother who was sitting in his car. The cop came up to him and started talking to him, and it got kind of heated because the cop was already wired from something else that was going on. He says, well, let me see your hands. He said, my hand is right here. He said, one hand here and one hand on the wheel. He said, well, my hand's right here. What? And he grabs him. He said, what are you doing? And then he looks over his shoulder and calls his boys, because it was his partner and some other cops. He says, gun. Dude was like, what? Gun? And it was all on video. Dude had the camera rolling in his truck. He said, what do you mean, what gun? My hands are here. What do you mean gun? What are you talking about? See that? Now that right there. Cop should have been fired. How many black tragedies have we had in the last decade? What about the brother that got shot in his back while walking with his hands up, going back to his truck? The dude in the helicopter looking down was like, that looks like a bad dude. What? What? You know who looked like a bad dude? Dillian Roof. Dillian Roof looked like a bad dude to me. Because those black folks in that church took that white boy in and showed him nothing but love, read him the Bible, and that boy left and came back and mowed down all those black people. And, cold blood. And when that kid got locked up, when he left his establishment, his home, it had a bulletproof vest on him. Just in case. Black people don't do things like that. We don't retaliate like that. We don't do that. But just in case, they put a bulletproof vest on him. And then when he goes back to the precinct, hey kid, you hungry? You want some Burger King? Right. Where were the Latinos and the Asians and the Middle Easterners talking about that's messed up? He shot up a church. These were old folks. And then the surviving members were watching them on a Zoom meeting talking about, Jesus says to forgive, so I'm going to forget. Yo, look, listen. There's a lot of things I don't understand. I'm just saying I know me. That wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be me. I would have told them, no, I don't forgive you. Be careful in prison. Be real careful. Because trust me, what you did ain't nothing for me to make some phone calls. Joe Townsend, salute. Ain't nothing for me to make some phone calls and put something in people's commissary to do a job. Have fun. Have fun. I'm not that forgiving. I'm not even going to hold you. I didn't understand any of that. Where are those people that attach on to the laws that we fought for, got shot for, got hung for? Where were they? Because what I read online is every time a black person gets shot, they on some, oh, well, I'm pro cop. He didn't just shoot him. They had to have done something. There's always somebody that's not white American arguing on behalf of the cops. See, y'all came over here and y'all understand that we're bottom of the totem pole. And you would rather have white privilege than to stand in the pocket because you're not white. You'd rather stand in the pocket and be with us. Y'all might be with us for a little while, but when you get what you want out of the deal, you leave. And you know what's happening right now under this Trump thing? 61% of the Latinos voted for this guy. The same amount of black people that voted for Biden is the same amount of black people that voted for Harris, and it's significantly less than everybody else. So it wasn't even us. It wasn't even us. When I say us, I mean the FBAs. It wasn't even us. It wasn't us. It was y'all. So instead of making your stupid TikTok videos about what we didn't do and we're laughing and y'all just watch, we're gonna get it together. Y'all ain't gonna do anything. Y'all going home. How are you marching and protesting on American soil, waving a flag that you come from and mad you gotta go back to? What? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. What it is that you're so used to tagging on to what we do to generate compliance in your community. There's nothing to do here. Because what's happening is we're just saying, yo, told you. You thought you had white privilege? You didn't. Because the main white man in office, he's sending you home. And if you are born and raised here or you're here legally, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Now you're beefing about what we're doing or allegedly how we're laughing at you or whatever. Now listen, man. You ain't got no smoke for those white folk doing the same thing? You ain't got no smoke for them? Hey, man, cool. Cool. Come here legally. Because birth tourism is shut down. They ain't having that. So that was the Asian scheme on how to get in here. That's a lock diggity. It's over. What were the Indians doing? What were the Arabs doing? I heard at these supermarkets out here, like Key Food and all these other places, a lot of the employees ain't working. You know what was happening? The migrants was coming here speaking Spanish. Those supermarkets are usually Spanish owned, and they were hiring their people. And now their asses has gone home. They have no employees. Now watch this. Are you going to start hiring the kids in the hood that look like me? Not the ones that look like me that speak your language, but the ones that are FBAs. You're going to hire them? They're looking for jobs. So you're going to hire them? You're going to hire them? I don't think so. So why should we care? It's just a question. Why should we care? Tell me why we should care. You know what I heard? Oh, it could happen to you. Where they going to send me? This is my country. It's my dad's country, my granddad, my great-granddad, my great-great-granddad, and I think I'm 5 greats before the motherfucker that got off the boat. Where's my country? You know what they're going to say? Africa. Africa's a continent, you idiot. Which country in Africa? Tell me. Where do I look like I'm from? Give it a try. I don't know. Can't. You got roots It's you and your parents, DR. You, your parents, Peru. You, your parents, Nicaragua. Or just you from Mexico. You from India. Watch this, watch this. Were you beefing when that Haitian dude got locked up and deported? Because we know what y'all doing DR with the Haitians. I seen the documentary. I seen it. Too late, we saw it. That Mexican dude beefing about, oh yeah, you know, black people, yo, there's a whole black town in Mexico. I'm gonna pull the clip and I'm gonna play it on here when I get my computer's fixed. I just been lazy to go get it. There's a whole black town in Mexico. They're Mexican, but they look like me. And that whole town is away from everybody else that looks more Spaniard. And this man said, I saw it in person. God bless you, brother. See? So please stop talking like you're on this. Now you need a kumbaya moment. No, you're good. You don't need us. You're good. You're good. Stop the nonsense. Stop whining. Like I said earlier, call a ambulance. I'm not listening. I'm really not listening. I don't care. Now y'all need a lifeline? No, you don't. You're all right. Don't blame us. We didn't put this guy in the White House. Y'all did that. We tried to tell y'all. Everybody comes up here and want to buddy up with them folks, and look what the folk is doing. And even though it's him, you're looking at us. Why? Because we ain't fighting? There's nothing to fight. Y'all done tagged on to everything. Y'all are like the Borg. All of you minorities. Y'all assimilate. That's all you do. You assimilate. And when you're done, when you drain the swamp, y'all leave us hanging. Cool, man. Listen, there's cats from the Caribbean getting deported. Look, man, if you're not supposed to be here, get out, man. I don't see you marching for them. You from Jamaica, you're here legally, you got to go. You from Barbados, you're here illegally, you got to go. Antigua, sorry, you got to go. Sorry, but not sorry. If you're here illegally, what you doing here? Snoop, what up? What you doing here? Which channel you on, Akil? If I want to let you super chat, refresh the page and see what happens. And if you on, let me see. Oh, you on Pep Talk? They don't let you super chat? That's ridiculous. Go to Drew Titan LLC because I'm dual streaming, and this is exactly why I do that. Shout out to Miguel. He probably deported his boyfriend. Funniest part when they say, oh yeah, black people, when that happened to you, that's how uneducated you are. I can't get deported. Pick a country in this world, send me there. They're gonna be like, no, send him back. Send me to Poland. Send me to the UK. It says American. Born and raised. Sorry, try again. They really think, and when they say that, they really think that that the country could just up and just do what they want. You know what? We're just gonna throw black people out. You have no idea how this government works. We do. We've been here the whole time. We helped shape it. We fought for it. We also fought against it. What you mean? What do you think this country is? And that's why your ass, you said you're trying on both? That's great. That's just great. I appreciate you, Akil. This is going into class action. This is cool. Let me highlight what the brother has to say. He says, just want to say I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. My parents are from Panama and Jamaica. I'm 100% for my brothers and sisters from the U.S. getting reparations. It's long overdue. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And the story I shared, that was just a reminder to go back to that story about that woman that turned out to be a yardie. What they do is they take the chameleons and they throw them in the pen with us because we don't know it. Like I told you, I got a bunch of friends that their parents are from Jamaica. And I don't know until they get around their parents or around each other and they start talking like that. I'm like, what the hell is that? I didn't know that. But when I was like in high school, I said, you Jamaican? You Antiguan? What the hell? I didn't know. Because they were born here. But they're not FBAs. But what they do is, it's organized confusion. What they will do is they will take them and throw them in a pot with us. And while we're saying we need this, we need this, we need this, those people will be the voice to say, do you really need that? Do you really need that? Let me tell you why you don't need that. And it's like, why are you arguing against it? Salute to Akil in that Cash App. Much love and appreciation, man. He says they won't let me super chat, man. You know, sidebar, y'all. And I appreciate you, brother. This is why I'm telling all of you, go subscribe to the Patreon. YouTube, I'm telling all of my members, if you can afford to be channel members here, that's great. But I would rather you transfer that over to my Patreon. And I'm going to tell you why. YouTube does things like this. They unsubscribe people all the time. They don't send out notifications. Or because they don't like what I'm talking about. And they limit my free speech. And since this guy is in office now, see, I'm touching his finger now. Touching his finger. Like E.T. Yeah. He's big on free speech. And things are changing. And there's things that he's putting in effect, executive orders, that's going to change what YouTube is doing. You already see the soy boys online crying, working at Starbucks, talking about, we need a union. I've worked 7.5 hours and only had an hour break. This is unfair. Like, bro, welcome to planet Earth. Oh my God, there's some big bikers out there. I'm scared to use the restroom. We need protection. What do you mean? Oh, like having maxi pads in the men's room? That's what you mean? Hit the gym. Do some push-ups. The hell? But these are the people that get in positions of power. These people with, see, like this woman right here, the birthrights and stuff like that, birth tourism, they groom their kids to be in positions of power where they can make the call. Tom, what up? Where they can make the call on what we do, on everyday things that we take advantage of, like the internet. So I tell y'all, YouTube has become a place where the people in charge that micromanage what we do here, it's become a place where they do that. I've had things done to me like where they've stopped my live in the middle of me and I didn't even do anything. They just stopped my live. And when I contacted them, nobody knew what happened. But somebody that I did speak to said, oh, I didn't do it. Well, if you couldn't do it, why would you say you didn't do it? So somebody did it. Somebody did it. You killed my stream and I didn't even get a strike. So what the hell happened? No answer, no response. Okay, we cool. We cool. We not DS3, salute. And I've documented all of that. So I said all that to say this. All my members, like I said, if you want to keep both memberships, that's cool, because I'm going to be putting content up that is only for y'all. But I would much rather you take that $5 or whatever you're doing over to my Patreon, where you get it raw and uncut. I just told a story over there fairly recently. I also can go live on Patreon over there too. I'm gonna be doing that soon. It's free. I can play the music I want, and I can talk how I want over here. I ain't got to worry about offending anybody over there, because it's a service you're paying for. And why would you give YouTube your hard-earned money, whether it be a super chat? Because what they do is they take 30 cents off of every dollar. So if you send me $1 super chat, it's really 70 cents. Why would you want to give these people your money when you don't get notifications? They unsubscribe you. All right? They mess with my live streams. You understand? Why do you want to give them a cut of your bread? So roll over to Patreon. Give me a reason to do more content on Patreon. That's why we over there. That's why the General's over there. That's why BFTB's over there. That's why Stormy B-Man's over there. Stormy B-Man got a nice little thing going on over there. It's called I'm Offended. Go check that out. I'm over there. When Stormy does his beats with Sugar over there, and he takes you down memory lane, and he starts playing those classic songs uninterrupted without YouTube, because we can't do anything on YouTube without them saying, oh, copyright. Don't give these people a piece of your hard-earned money. That's why I say, I appreciate the super chat, but hit my Cash App, my Venmo, my Zelle. Hit that up. Let me know you hit it up, and I will read what you, because screw these guys, man. Screw these guys, for real. For real, screw these guys. Until they get right. Miguel is a metaphor. Two things I know about the people that micromanage and oversee my content. Number one, he's Latin. I know that. How do I know? In the midst of the AJ situation, when we was barking on AJ, my stream never acted funny. As soon as I started barking on Ryan Garcia when he cheated, I never see my channel act like that. There was one time I went live and I had no sound. I was like, what the hell is this? I'm talking to YouTube at the same time. I say, there's no sound. I contacted StreamYard. They said it's not us. It absolutely was YouTube. It absolutely was YouTube. But they don't know nothing. There was nothing wrong with StreamYard. You're cutting off my streams. You're not sending out notifications. You know what these fools, well, I ain't going to say what these fools did, because that's all a part of mine. But they did something fairly recently, and they didn't cross their T's and dot their I's. D'Artagnan A, salute. I appreciate you, Akil. I appreciate you, for real. I really do. And Patreon is just better. It's just better. They don't respect me here as a content creator, and they don't respect you guys for supporting. They unsubscribing y'all. Y'all not getting, and it's all a person at Google or YouTube doing this with their arms folded. They don't like what I had to say about Ryan Garcia, and my channel hasn't been the same since. I've never seen anything like this, but documentation beats conversation, because I've asked a bunch of questions and I got several different answers, and none of them make sense. And when I finally called them out on it, my channel rebounded. Strange, right? I said, oh, okay, you're caught. Now, the other thing I know about Miguel, and Miguel is a metaphor, is that they're part of that broken wrist. The broken wrist community. Yeah, let's hit that.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
Because when I make reference to them, my channel start acting funny. And what do we know about these cats in the Bay, where Ego's from?
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
I'm like, man, every time I make reference to them, my channel start acting funny. Notifications don't go out. My sub will go down 1 or 2 and then come back. I'm like, And they don't factor in, there's a lot of people that we do talk to behind the scenes. Hey, I ain't getting no notifications. Hey, what did I do? What do you mean? This is so-and-so. I'm getting a DM from, because some of y'all have different names on Instagram. And I don't check all my messages. Sometimes I'll go back and like, oh man, this was a month ago. And one of the brothers said, yo, I don't know what I did, Drew. I'm like, well, who are you? I'm so-and-so. I'm a wrench. I just haven't been around because I thought I did something. What do you mean? I'm blocked on your channel. Huh? Then I realized, oh man, I haven't seen you in a while. I didn't block you. I didn't block you. He was unsubscribed and blocked. I had to take his email, put it in. It was a whole thing. I had to bring him back. But I didn't do that to him. I didn't do that to him. And it was done to like 4 different people from what I understand. I didn't do that to them. But YouTube will tell you we don't shadow ban. We don't do, they're liars. And when I talk about things like this, they're really mad at this orange man. And as it pertains to this, I'm not. Because he's right. There's a proper way to do things. If you're illegal, the term illegal means you've broken the law. You're not supposed to be here. Get out. We have to fix our economy. What the hell? Trillions in debt? Trillions? Are you supposed to let the illegals work here just so they can send half of their bread back to their country? And when we're putting them out, the country's talking about we don't want them. So rather than try and go home where they can fix their economy, they want to come here and take advantage of the loopy laws here and march in our streets and protest when you're not supposed to be here and wave the flag to a country that you were born from but you don't want to go back to? Are you kidding me? No. Get out. Sorry, but not sorry. Get out. And that goes for everybody. Black, brown, white, Ukrainians, Latinos, Indians, get out. If you're here legally, get out. Go through the proper channels to come here. Yeah, Joe, I know. Tay-Tay was shadow banned from Blue Bloods channel. But they don't know what's going on. Ridiculous. The deal is this here. FBAs, we help mold this country. We're not the majority. And the reason why we're not the majority is because we have some dysfunction amongst ourselves that we still have to fix, but that's another show. That's what it is. That's the name of that tune. Remember Beretta? That's the name of that tune. So all you cats that want to fight for illegals to be here, I hope you was marching for Mike Brown. I hope you was marching for Trayvon Martin. Or were you one of those people online saying, yeah, you know, he got shot, but George Zimmerman's life was in danger, but Mike Brown did rob somebody, strong arm, so he deserves a death penalty? Well, the cop said he went for his gun. He did. How do you explain Philando Castile, the black man with a Latin name that was shot in front of his girlfriend and the baby girl by the cop that was of Asian descent? Huh? What about him? And it goes on and on and on. We're by ourselves with all of that shit, man. We're by ourselves. Remember what they did to Anthony Joshua in the UK? Let me bring this to y'all attention if you forgot. And this was like the only time I rocked with AJ. When he got into that town, it was a West Indian town in the UK. And he said, all he said was, we need to rotate our dollar. Support black businesses. From the black restaurants to, you know, the West Indian restaurants. That's all he said. He didn't get on there and say, kill Whitey. Oh yeah, they finally put a statue of Emmett Till. So mad at that. You got to hear my parents tell the story about that. That happened when they were kids, man. Y'all remember how they treated Anthony Joshua? After he said that, he didn't say anything wrong. He said what the Chinese people and the Jewish people and what do you think Chinatown is? What do you think Little Italy is? Little Korea, what do you think that is? All he said we need to support our own businesses. That's it. He didn't say stop going to white businesses. He just said, yo, we need to support each other. This was after George Floyd was killed. And the world went crazy as it was supposed to. But even after George Floyd, I did see people online talking about, well, you know, he was a drug addict. And then that's the Ryan Garcia thing. Yeah, it was just proven that he was a drug addict and drugs did that. He was a crackhead. I want to resurrect him and kill him again. That's what Ryan said. So, and you want to fight him again and break bread with him? Forget, oh man, punch him in the face. You know what Ryan deserved? He deserved to get dealt with on the street level. There, I said it. But to fight him in the ring and pay him millions of dollars for what? He don't deserve to break bread with no black fighter at all. I'm not brushing that off. That's what I'm saying. I understand these kids today. They have no, and like the OG Mr. Moss said, they have no connection to their ancestors. None. They don't have any. And when AJ got attacked for saying that, there was people on Twitter. I saw all the screenshots because I'm not on Twitter, thank God. Oh, see what happens when next time you fight. I hope you lose every fight now. These are white people. I'm like, what? He didn't say anything wrong. I was like, man, I hope he sees this. And when Eddie Hearn was asked about that, he rode the fence. I did a video on that. He rode the fence. And I don't remember exactly what he said. I got to find it. But I was mad that he rode the fence. And I called him out on it. What Eddie was supposed to do was say, what happened in America is typical. Black people been oppressed. And that's symbolic of the world. All Anthony Joshua said was his community needs to, because I don't really know what AJ claims. He claimed he African, whatever it is. But that day he was black. And he found out. And what Eddie was supposed to do was protect the integrity of his buck. It's not right what happens to America. What happened to the black man in America. Rightfully so, there's an outrage, there's an uproar. That can't happen. And all AJ said was in his community, they need to be more connected and support each other. And all those tweets are wrong. That's all he had to say. He didn't say it. He rode the fence. Why? Because you don't want to piss off your community, Eddie? See that? He rode the fence. Andrew 100 says, some folks in the UK are stone cold racist. I heard, bro. I heard it's no different. The only difference between what goes on in the UK and over here is an accent. That's it. They got the same problems over there that we got over here. The exact same ones. That's what I heard. Mike S. says, Eddie Hearn said Ryan is a good kid with a good heart. Well, Mike S., you told me that you don't know if Ryan's a racist. Hey, man. Seems a little different when I just broke it down, though, right? Go back and look at how long that knee was on George Floyd's neck. Killed him right there in the street. And Ryan Garcia, after getting caught cheating, I don't know where that racist rant came from, but it came. And he said George Floyd died from a drug overdose. And he wants to kill them and resurrect them. No, he wants to resurrect them and kill them again and join the Ku Klux Klan. And that's not racist? Bro. There's no coming back from that, bro. There's no coming back from that. There's nothing. There's nothing Ryan could do or say ever to me. Ever. Ever. And that's why I look at cats strange. That don't, bro, y'all can't hate Devin that much, bro. If you're confused about Ryan Garcia's behavior and Teofimo Lopez's behavior, I don't know what, I know what to think about you as a person. These kids are out of touch with their ancestors because a cat like Ryan and Teofimo Lopez shouldn't feel safe walking the streets. They shouldn't. And these are the things we're dealing with as black people. We fight for everything. We take we catching strays for everything. But the Latinos getting deported that are not supposed to be here, the Latinos are here. They're looking at us like, you. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did we do? Why are you laughing? We're not. We're gonna, wait a minute. You seen all of these people talking about y'all getting deported, all those white folk on social media, and you're looking at us? You so pro-American, right? You see what this Asian bitch is doing? Millions of dollars. Chinese millionaires sending their kids over here to grow up to become what? Business owners? To take advantage of free enterprise? And corner the job market no matter what it is? That's what you're doing? This is what's being done here, man. But never mind that. Why did you ignore all these white folk and come straight to us? Why would you do that? This birth tourism scheme was live. And Trump caught it and he's like, nah, we killing that. You hear illegal? You're leaving. White man's in office. 61% of the Latino vote helped him get in the office. Meanwhile, we fighting for rights of ours and y'all done attached all of y'all shit to ours. And somehow all of this is our fault? I get it. I'm not sad to see you go. If you're here legally, I'm not sad to see you go. Get out. And like I said, you concerned about all your Spanish-speaking relatives or whatever getting out. Where was the tears when that Haitian dude was getting thrown out? When the Asians was getting thrown out? When the Indians was getting thrown out? When there was Ukrainians right here in New York and Manhattan, there was a group of them that was walking around Lower Manhattan. I saw them. And now you got a Ukrainian woman trying to get knocked up by black men to stay in the country. I need to stop. This is misdirected anger. We are not the scapegoats. Everybody got a scheme to get in here, including the Chinese. It's called birth tourism scheme. Google it. You're caught. And all this ignorant shit talking about, oh, well, you know, black people, what happens when you're next? Yeah, right. If you're from the Caribbean and you're black and you're illegal, your ass leaving. If you're African and you're obviously black and you're caught, you're leaving. Guess what? They're not my problem either. This is my country. Why are you trying to come here? What are you up to that you want to come here illegally? We are too nice. Get out. Leave. This country ain't perfect, but it's mine. My family helped build it. I ain't break no laws. A lot of people tell me I'm gonna leave this country. Look, you can. You can. If you can make it work elsewhere, you can, and I hope the best. I hope the best for you. But if I help build this and mold it, don't talk about, oh, what happens when you're next. I can't be next. I can't be next. Don't get mad. If you're American here, you can't be next. You can't be next. What you talking about? You mad because your cousins can't get here? Ain't got nothing to do with you. But if it's so bad here, won't you go to Mexico, man? Won't you leave? Won't you go to Argentina? Go back to Africa. Go ahead. Why don't you want to stay in Zimbabwe or wherever? Why don't you want to stay in Ghana? You know why? Because it's easy here. We are way too relaxed, man. Get out, man. Exactly, Miss Ford. I'm minding my black business. That's what I'm doing. I'm minding my black business. You've been here the whole time. Don't talk to me about me not feeling any kind of way that y'all getting thrown out of here when you're not supposed to be here in the first place. Talk to me about reparations. I didn't vote for this guy. I voted for Cornel West. Talk to me about reparations. Do you think, ask anybody, hey man, you got all this to say, Delano, what up? You got all this to say. Do you think black people, foundational black Americans, should get reparations? To see what they say. Because I've heard some people say, oh no, all they're going to do is buy cars and drugs. And I've heard white people say, all they're going to do is give their money back to the, right back to the economy. And you know what? That's what you want. That's what you want. You want us to give money back to the economy. You know what you don't want? Give a grant to an illegal and they take a portion of that money and send it back to their country to take care of their family over there. Because it doesn't go back into the American economy. And that's how we lose money. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me get out of here, man. I'm not going live tomorrow morning. I got a dentist appointment. You know what's crazy? I don't know what time it is. I don't know what time the appointment is. So I just got to get there in the morning, early. Oh, boy. And y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to my Patreon, man. I could produce and get loose over there. I appreciate the support. For more unedited content, follow me on Patreon, Drew Titan, LLC. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, Super Chat, man. I love it here. You know, it gives me a break from foolishness in boxing. Y'all stay blessed. What's today? Monday. We'll be back here Wednesday. And y'all take it gently.
The Painful Excellence Podcast.